Hello, welcome to the Opinionistics. I'm your host, John Malone. In this episode, don't have co-hosts because reasons again. Introducing from Massachusetts, Nismah Osman.
Hello, hello.
So, what do you do for a living?
Yeah, so I am a songwriter, a music producer, and an entrepreneur or business person, if you could say. I write songs for film and television.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been doing all of that for?
So, well, I've been doing music pretty much my whole life, but I got into the film and TV industry when I was in college. So it's been about, I would say, 7 or 8 years.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And what inspired you to take the path that you've been going on right now?
Well, a couple of things. I mean, the first thing was, as shallow as it sounds, uh, finances. As when you're an aspiring musician and you're trying to figure out how to make a living doing it, you know, the you kind of try every path before you, and I know for me, which I'm sure a lot of other musicians out there can relate to, just constantly sharing on social media and posting and making content and begging people to stream your music, it just gets old, it gets really tiring, and it really, there's very little fruit to the labor. And so for me, I wanted a path that was going to be a little more financially secure and a little more rewarding in that sense. And so when I discovered sync licensing, which is the term for writing music for film and TV, I kind of found that path and have just kind of been on it ever since.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
So, what kind of works have you produced your whole life?
So, I mean, in terms of genre, I've been doing a little bit of, I won't say everything, but there's a nice variety in there. I grew up kind of writing very singer songwriter type music, guitar, piano, ballads. And then when I learned how to produce music, I ventured more into the pop, hip hop, R&B world just because it was so fun to put tracks together and kind of get creative in that way. So I've done a little bit in quite a few genres.
Nice, very good. Are there any artists you've thought about wanting to collaborate with someday?
Oh man, I mean, too many, it would be a dream to be able to work with some of my songwriting legends, like songwriting heroes, like John Mayer and Julia Michaels and uh, even Taylor Swift. She's a fantastic writer. Credit where credit is due, right? Just so many amazing artists and writers out there. Yeah.
Sweet. Where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
20 years. Ooh, 20 years. I see myself, hmm, 20 years. I see myself running some sort of really world impacting company, um, either a charity or a nonprofit. I would really love to bring education to women in underserved nations. So I'm hoping that I'm running that and changing lives, and then otherwise just kind of enjoying my life, enjoying my friends and family.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
If you were to travel back in time, which decade would you want to live in?
I would love to give the 80s a whirl. I feel like it was just such a good time, and I missed it by 4 years. But I was born in '94. But I've just, I think some of the best music, some of the best movies have come from the '80s, and you cannot ignore that '80s hair.
Ah, yes. The 80s hair was really something.
It was.
Oh, yes. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Somewhere warm where there's a beach.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's my favorite too.
Yeah.
What would you give a presentation on for 40 minutes without any preparation?
How to write great songs.
Interesting.
How to write honest songs. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. If your life was a meal, what kind of meal would it be?
Oh, wow. I've never thought about my life in this way before. If my life were a meal, oh man, I would say it's a buffet. There's just a little bit of everything going on.
Hmm, fabulous.
Yeah.
If you're going to sail around the world, what's the name of your boat?
Oh, what's the name of my boat? The Cleopatra.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What habit do you find yourself doing without even realizing it?
Oh, this is a kind of an embarrassing one, but uh like picking my nails, my fingers. It's like an anxious tick I've always had.
Oh, yeah. I do that at times, honestly.
Mhm.
So you're not the only one.
All right. Glad I'm not alone.
Great. If your mind was an island, what would it look like?
Depends on the time of day because sometimes I think it would look like a big old storm was passing through, and then other times it would look like an island party, and other times it would look like a nice calm sunset island, picturesque sort of thing.
Oh, yes. What is your favorite holiday tradition?
My favorite holiday tradition. I would say probably watching a Christmas movie on Christmas Eve.
Oh, yes. Those are the days.
Mm-hmm.
What food is underrated or underappreciated?
Really stinky cheese.
Hmm, interesting. Never thought it'd be the day, but
Yeah.
here we are.
Yep.
If you were given 500 acres of land, what would you use that land for?
I would probably build a homestead or multiple homesteads. I don't know if that's possible, but I'd build a self-sustained uh farm and greenhouse and garden and have animals and kind of have people come and live off the land and recuperate from life.
Hmm, yes. Where was the most beautiful place you've ever been?
The most beautiful place I've ever been was probably the pyramids of Giza in Egypt.
Hmm, fabulous.
Yeah.
Nice. Would you rather speak all languages or talk to animals?
Speak all languages.
Yeah, I'd say the same. What is your favorite ice cream topping?
Brownies, like brownie pieces.
Oh, yes, I do like a bit of brownies once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
What has been the best period of your life so far?
The one I'm in.
Like right now?
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
No, but I mean that realistically, like really too. Like I've gone through quite a bit in my life, but I feel like I'm at a place now where I'm really coming into my own and getting in alignment.
Ah, okay. I can see that. What do you greatly enjoy doing but wish you could do more of?
Um, I really enjoy playing like board games with people, and I don't do that enough.
Ah, yes. What chores do you absolutely hate doing?
All of them. No, I
Yes.
I I hate doing laundry.
Yeah. That's the worst of them all.
Yeah, it just never ends, and it's so annoying to. There's so many steps. Gotta wash it, dry it, fold it, put it away.
Yes, it just never ends.
Yep.
Yeah. How much time do you spend on the internet?
Oh, probably too much. During the work week, I spend a lot of time. I'm primarily on the internet because of my work, the nature of my work. But on the weekends, I take a break and I try to get into the real world
Yes, absolutely. What is the best way to start the morning?
with a fresh, hot cup of coffee.
Yes. I've heard that many times, and yes, it's something.
I bet.
Yeah. What was the most stupidest joke you have ever heard?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I would have to think about it. Can I do a pass on that one?
Yeah, fair enough. You could do it. What has taken you the longest to get good or decent at?
Mixing music.
Yep, I can see that.
Yeah.
Eventually. If you could slow down time, what would you do with that power?
If I could slow down time. Oh man, that's interesting. I never thought about that. I guess what anybody else would do. Um, maybe slow it down to nearly a standstill and travel the world.
Yes.
No consequences, right? Because nobody's moving.
Yes, absolutely. What fictional item do you wish you owned in real life?
Fictional item. Um, I don't. I don't think there's really any. Yeah, I don't think there's any.
You sure?
I don't know. I can give you some examples. I don't really think I have any fictional items that I pine
Well,
for.
okay. So, all I could want is a wand from Harry Potter, a lightsaber, that giant mushrooms from Super Mario,
Oh yeah.
uh, maybe a sword from Legend of Zelda. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Okay, so how about access to the Candyland land?
Ah, the Candyland land.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Sounds pretty sweet to me.
Yep.
Would you rather sleep on the wall or sleep on the ceiling?
Like leaned up against the wall, I guess. It's the only way. 'Cause on
Okay.
the ceiling, you'd fall, right? Or am I being
Yeah.
too literal?
I don't know. If it works, it works.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, it doesn't, because you fall.
If someone wrote a book about you, what do you think its title would be?
The free spirit.
Sweet. What was the longest trip you've taken?
The longest trip. So you mean like on a plane or like the longest vacation?
Well, yeah, the longest stay, the longest commute, whatever floats the boat.
Hmm. Well, I think that the longest trip I took, like in terms of a vacation, was about 2 weeks to Europe after I graduated college. I went to My sister and I went to France and Italy. Um, and then the flight back was pretty long too, because I had a 6 hour layover in Amsterdam.
Hmm,
So
interesting.
it was about a 15-hour trip total, which isn't too bad, compared to having to travel to Australia and China and whatnot from the US, but it was long for me. Felt long.
Oh yeah, that I can see that. That'd be long, very long. I can't stress enough how long that would be. As long as it's twice the length I've been on.
Oh, really?
Yes. So the longest I've been on was like nearly 12, 13 hours from where I am from to a city in Brazil where I was visiting family.
Mm.
That was the longest I've ever been on. Otherwise, yeah, you topped the charts, I guess. What was the strangest dream you have ever had?
You know, I actually have this dream from when I was a kid that I still remember clear as day. Um, and it was so bizarre. There was we were my family and I we were in a big like desertous field type of flat land, and it was like deserty, and there was a couch in the middle of the field, and on it there was a lion laying on the couch, and we were all just circling the lion, walking around the lion. And it was, I think, the most bizarre dream that I've ever had to this date, and I'm still wondering what it means because I had it when I was so young, and I still remember it. I don't know if that means anything, but I guess we'll find out.
Yes, I'd say the same. I have dreams that I don't know where they came from.
Yeah.
What kind of music do you often listen to?
A little bit of everything, but lately I've been listening to a lot of John Mayer. I've been listening to um this newer artist. Actually, she's not new. Um uh Joy, I'm going to say her name wrong. Ola Dokun. She's amazing. I've been listening to some other stuff. Maud Latour, she's really good. And then some older stuff. Hall and Oates, Simon and Garfunkel, The Beatles. That's kind of been on my list lately.
Hmm, nice. If you could host a dinner party and invite five guests who are either dead or alive, who would you invite?
Five guests, dead or alive. Um, Probably Mozart, um, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Madonna. How many is that? Four?
Yes, seems like four.
And let's throw another lady in there. Mariah Carey. Why the hell not? Make it a party.
Fantastic. What happens in real life but rarely gets portrayed in movies?
Hmm. What happens in real life and rarely gets portrayed in movies? Probably how boring sex is sometimes.
Oh yeah, of course. Have you heard of a drink called banana friche?
I have not.
I get that a lot. Have you ever thought of a world that is nothing but gardens?
I have not, but that sounds lovely.
It sure does. What game have you spent the most hours playing?
Probably Guitar Hero when I was growing up.
Hmm, fabulous. What is the most comfortable piece of clothing you own?
These really beat up old like loungewear pants that have holes all over them, but I refuse to throw them away because they're so comfortable.
Oh yes, I'd say the same. I'm wearing something comfortable right now, and
Yeah.
yeah, enough said than done.
Yep.
If you had a tattoo right now, where would it be?
Well, I don't have any tattoos, but I probably would get one right under my wrist.
All right, very nice. Would you teleport yourself 500 years into the future or 500 years into the past?
Ooh, I mean, 500 years ago was what? The 1500s? Probably wasn't a great time for women, so I'll say the future.
Smart move. Probably for the best.
Yep.
What kind of business would you like to start if you were given the chance?
Um, well, any business that That makes some good money and provides good jobs. I mean, I always wanted to run a little breakfast shop, like a little just kind of New Jersey style bagel sandwiches, coffee, something simple.
Ah, fabulous.
Yeah.
What was cool when you were young, but isn't cool now?
Probably half the words that we used to use. Uh like that word fat, like PHAT. You'd say something, "Oh, that's fat." Now it's offensive to say that, and it should be.
Yeah, I can see that. What was the most overhyped place you've traveled to?
The most overhyped place I've traveled to. I'm gonna sound like a complete arsehole by saying this, but Rome. And I don't know if it was just because we were so tired and it was so hot and we kept getting harassed by street vendors, but it was a really overwhelming experience when my sister and I were there. But I've heard since that I just had a bad experience and I should retry Rome, and I will one day.
Yeah, I can understand how such a city with so much tourism could be it could be a letdown upon first impressions once you realize your surroundings.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with Paris as it's a major tourist destination and one minute you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to Paris for the city of love and the food is great, and then the next
Mhm.
minute, oh wow, this is very underwhelming.
Yeah, it's
The
just
people are
yeah, just a place where people live.
yeah. And the thing is, I feel sorry for the people that live in Paris and all of France because people think that what happens in Paris, the same can be said for France, but that isn't the case.
Right.
Every place is different.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What is a common misconception people have about you?
Um, Probably that I am not sensitive, and I'm actually very sensitive.
Ah, okay. Where do you spend most of your free time?
Um, Writing music, watching TV or movies, going out to eat, one of those.
Fabulous. Who was the funniest person you've met?
The funniest person I've met?
Yes.
It was probably my old friend Becky. Yeah, she and I unfortunately were not friends anymore, but she was a riot.
Ah, of course. What is the most ridiculous fact you know?
The most ridiculous fact I know. I know a lot of really random, ridiculous facts. How about this one? The hairs in your ear, so your ear
Yeah.
follicles,
Mm-hmm.
they are dancing and they look like uh those little things that they have at car sales, like car dealerships, that blow in the wind, and your ear hair follicles look like that. They're always dancing around.
Okay.
It's funny
Cool.
looking. If you look up a video, you'll see what I mean. It's funny.
Okay, I'll check that out. What was the best thing you've bought off Amazon?
Best thing I bought off Amazon? Oh, geez. I don't know. I don't really buy stuff unless I really need it. So I don't buy like trinkets or anything. But I guess my lava lamp, since I'm looking at it.
Nice. Would you consider yourself to be an extrovert or an introvert?
Um, I would say I'm an introverted extrovert.
Same. I'm like that most of the time. I am social, but most of the time, nah, I just want to be alone at times. But I
Yeah.
still want to socialize, but I want to be alone again.
Yeah, it's got to be a balance.
Yes, exactly. Would you rather be really hot or really cold?
Really hot.
Yes. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No. And the reason why is because a sandwich, in my mind, is two sides of the cube are bread. But on a hot dog, three sides of the cube are bread. So it's like a sub.
Okay, I can see that. It's really a hot dog. It's just a sausage with a wrapped around bun.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see that. If you had to get rid of a holiday, which would you get rid of?
Easter.
Hmm. Okay. Intriguing.
I won't say any more for fear of being
Fair,
offensive.
fair enough. I can understand that. Do you like spicy food?
Absolutely. Love it.
Me too. In fact, I crave for spicy food. If there's anything spicy, I go for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite season?
Summer.
Yes, it's a vibe.
Mhm.
And that is all we have for this episode. It was great having you on, Nismah,
Yeah,
talking about
thank
your
you.
works as a. You're welcome. And until next time, stay opinionated.